Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are going to be talking about my Longchamp collection, and I am relatively new to the Longchamp game. I purchased my first handbag, I believe last year. I want to say it was last year, and since then I've kind of been on this spiral. I definitely get the hype. I know that so many people here, especially on the YouTube community, love the brand, but in general, I tend to see a lot of these handbags out in the wild, I would say. They're fairly popular. I think especially in Vancouver because it rains so often that so many people just carry, I think, the very traditional Le Pliage tote, but I have 6-7 pieces to share with you that I've acquired in the past year, and I'm just excited to show you them. So I am also going to rate them, I think. So I'm going to rate them from least used to most used, and I'll explain why, and maybe that will also help you if you are going between two different handbags or two different sizes, because while they are on the more affordable side, they are still expensive. I think most affordable one is probably my little pouch, which I'm going to show you, but you can often find them on sale. I know that Longchamp just had a sale on their site, but here in Canada, Holt Renfrew will often have sales, and in BC, I believe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, in BC, Canada, Holt Renfrew is the only place where you can actually buy these handbags, or you might be able to get them at the airport too. I'm not quite sure, but let's just get started. So least used. Oh, I lie. I have not started my Longchamp collection just last year because I got this one way back. So this is my least used of all of my Longchamp bags. So this is the backpack. So this is my first purchase. I can't remember when I got this. I know I was living at the old apartment, so it had to be at least 4 years ago, I believe now. So this one is, like I said, just a regular Le Pliage backpack, and in addition to that, I had bought the small energy tote. So I bought my mom the small energy tote for Mother's Day, but prior to that I had bought the original version that didn't have the detachable strap, and I was going between that one and this one, and I ended up with the backpack. And I did use this, I would say, when I first initially got it, I did use it quite a bit, but for me, it's just not very convenient. When you're accessing it, because you are wearing it as a backpack, it can be hard to access it. So I was using it mostly for work, not really in my day-to-day life, just because if I did have to pay for something, I'd have to take it off like this and kind of whip it around and dig through it like that. And plus, when you are wearing a backpack, sometimes I feel like it's not as secure because you can't see what's going on behind you. So I wouldn't actually use this if I were traveling somewhere where I was in a lot of public spaces or taking public transportation. I think we've all probably seen the pickpocketers and all those videos on TikTok. So I think for me, I just wasn't using it as much because it wasn't very accessible. But I think as well, I also began to evolve a little bit and just sort of stray away from my backpacks. I even have a Chloe backpack that I don't use very often, and I think it's just because I've gravitated more towards tote bags. Okay, so this isn't fair because I have not used this one yet, but I think I will, more so than the backpack. I picked this one up from the Holt Renfrew sale last year, I believe, and I can't remember the price that I paid for this. I have the original tag on, it says $235, but I believe I paid, I want to say around $150 or $140 for it. This is a travel bag, and the reason why I haven't used this is because I just have not traveled. So I think, like I said, I mentioned before that we are going to Mexico. I think I will probably use this one when I travel. What I really like about this one, and it's a small little detail, is that the hardware on it is this sort of matte, kind of gray or graphite kind of color, whereas traditionally it will either be kind of like gold like this, or it will be silver like this one. However, I don't know if it's all the travel bags that are like that, but this one is kind of like a matte graphite color. So I think this will be really good to take on the airplane. I know that I could use this technically as a carry-on. I I mean, like I said, we are going to Mexico and it's not for very long, so I probably could pack everything that I needed in here just because I'm a pretty light packer, and if you're going to someplace sunny, you're not really packing a lot of heavy items, which is nice. I got a really good deal on it and I am quite happy to have this in my collection. I just haven't had a chance to use it yet since we haven't traveled since I got it. And then let's move on. We're gonna move on to one that is the same color. So this one is the Longchamp Le Pliage in the medium size. It looks pretty small right now because it is not opened up, but I got this one, I want to say, I think I got it in the fall of last year. I really loved this color. It was selling out quite a bit. It is the exact same color as this one. I might have gone this one first and this one after now that I'm thinking about it. But this one is really nice. I bought it and I did use it quite a bit when I got it. The reason why I don't use it often is because of the color. For me, this seems like very much like a fall winter color. So I don't necessarily reach for this now that it's the warmer months, like spring and summer. I'll probably take this out again when it is cooler and I'm wearing like my longer jackets and just like wool. I feel like when I was wearing this one quite a bit, I have four really like chunky wool sweaters, and I was finding that I was reaching for this a lot because I think the dark gray and this beautiful oxblood go well together. But this is also, like I said, the smaller size. I will show you two other totes that I have in the larger size. I would say next least used would probably be this one. So now we've gone through what, 1, 2, 3. So now we are in the top 4. Would probably be this little cutie here. I love this. I think it's adorable. I think it holds sort of all my essentials if I'm going out. It is like a little bit more of a compact bag. This is the cosmetic pouch. Everyone sort of went crazy for it the last few years because you can convert it into a little crossbody or a little like shorter, whatever, like you can convert it is what I'm trying to say, into a little handbag. Or you can just carry it as is. I think it's really cute just carrying it like this, but I love the option of having to put on the additional straps. I used this, like I said, when I went to Mexico last year, and I used it when I was just walking around because we sort of ventured out from our resort. So I was using this, but I would also use it when I went down to the pool. And this, I think, when you're traveling, is just such a nondescript handbag. I don't ever travel with really expensive designer handbags just because I worry about theft. So I think that this is a really great option. It is lined on the inside because it is a cosmetic pouch. So if you spill anything, then you don't need to worry about it. But there are no pockets. I should mention with the backpack, there is just one single pocket. With the totes, there are 2 pockets on either side, but this one has no pockets on the inside. And even though it's so small, trust me, this can hold so much. This is really cute. Like I said, I just don't find myself reaching for it as much. Maybe now with the summer months, I will. Moving on, we're going to the top 3, and it's a little bit trickier, but I think I'm probably gonna choose this one, which is the Longchamp Le Pliage in the large size. I believe this color is actually called Graphite. And it is not the energy line, the green line. So as you can see, it has the green piping on the side there as well. My little pouch has the green piping, and my backpack also has the green piping on the tab at the front. I really like the green line. The reason why I like the green line is because it is silver hardware, as you can see there. Whereas the regular Le Pliage that I showed earlier, that has this kind of gold brass hardware there. The other difference with the green line, in case you didn't know, is if I hold this up, you can see that it is monochromatic. So it's the strap handle here is always going to match the leather part there and the little tabs on the side. Whereas with the original line, it's going to have that classic brown leather with sort of the white stitching. Green line, because it is all monochromatic and it matches the canvas to the straps, I just feel like it's a little bit less in your face. It's a little bit more muted. It's a little bit less sort of noticeable. Like no one would really look at it and think, oh, that's a Longchamp right away. Well, maybe they would because of the design. But for me, whenever I think of Longchamp, I always think about the classic brown handles. So this would be the next one. I do use this one quite a bit. For me, this would be what I use as like my airport kind of bag. I did use this one for work as well. I just didn't like to use it for work as much because if I want to keep it very specifically for the airport, I'm very strange in that way. I like to keep some things sort of separate and have separate bags for different things. And I just didn't like having to use this one for work that much. I used it a couple times, but now this one is particularly, I'd say, reserved for the airport. Comparing these two sizes, so again, this is the medium and this is the large Longchamp. There is a significant difference. So I would say I like the medium because I don't carry a lot, but if I had a preference between the two, I would probably choose the large. And the reason for that being that the handle drop is different. So let me show you. So can you see there that the handle drop on the large has about an extra inch, I would say. So when you are wearing bulkier clothes, or if you just like a longer strap in general, then the large would be the way to go, because the large you can put on without kind of being finicky with the handbag, whereas the medium is a little bit trickier. Like you can see how it hits my elbow sort of each time. Granted, it is not full right now. When it's full, it's a little bit easier, I think, but it does hit my elbow. So the large is just a little bit easier to take on and take off. Getting down to the final two. Okay, they are both from the Energy line because you know I love the Energy line. This one is new. I've only used it a few times, but I have to shout this out. This is the Energy pouch. I recently got this and I love it. So it's in this beautiful color. I think it's called Verbena, at least here in Canada it is. It's kind of a sage green, and then it is the black with the silver hardware. The difference with the Energy line is that the fabric is a little bit thicker, which you might kind of be able to see there, the stitching. So this one here is like a shinier fabric, this one is matte, and this one is not as durable as the Energy line. I can say that with confidence now after having the tote, which I'm going to show you next. But I like it because, like I said, it has silver hardware. It has this kind of sporty detail. This pouch is, in my opinion, far more superior than this pouch. So you can see the size difference. This one to me is more so a true crossbody if you were to put those attachments on, just because of the size of it. Whereas this one here, again, it's just such a teeny tiny little mini bag. So the other reason why I really like this is because, again, the zipper here with the rubberized Longchamp logo, it's just cool. Like I said, it's a little bit more athleisure, but it's also waterproof. The inside is amazing because it has one large flat pocket on the back, as you can see there, and it's really big. It can fit your phone, it can fit your passport, it can fit everything. But in addition to that, it also has, I'm trying to hold this like so you can see it, a zippered little pocket right underneath that's also quite large. And then the front has another pocket. So when I was showing my mom this version, she was like, I wish my small Longchamp had a zippered compartment too. And really, I feel like they all should, because it just makes sense. And I know that this is a pouch, and that's why it has it like a, I think it's supposed to be more so a cosmetic pouch. So it has that extra compartment, but it just makes sense to put it on all of them. I will say that this one is not lined, whereas this one again is lined. So if you spill anything, you don't need to worry about it. Whereas this one is just kind of the same fabric throughout, not lined at all, but so spacious. I know they make an extra small Longchamp Energy tote. This is actually bigger than it if you look at the dimensions online. Last but not least, my number one, the best Longchamp bag in my opinion, is the Energy tote in the large size. I don't know if it comes in, like I said, it comes in a small. I think it comes in a medium, but I don't know if they'll have crossbody straps. My mom is a crossbody strap, but this one is just the tote. It is so nice. I've used this one definitely the most out of all of them, even though this is also a purchase from this year. But it's very similar to the pouch. So it has the black on black, which I love. It has the silver hardware. It has this cool little zipper pull. It has the Longchamp rubberized zipper pull there. And the inside, I mean, it's basically the same as the other Longchamp totes. It just has one really large pocket here, which has a whole bunch of stuff in it because, like I said, I use this one for work. And there's barely, like, there's nowhere. There's, like, maybe a couple scuffs on the bottom, but the corners have no wear. I know with the original one, they tend to wear on the corners really easily, and that would happen with a leather tote as well, but it's just so good. This is my favorite tote. I would highly recommend it compared to this regular Longchamp. I think it's a little bit different because of the zipper pull. The leather is also different. I don't know if the strap drop is different. I think the strap drop is basically the same, but the leather on the handles are also different. So the fabric is superior. The leather here I think is superior. This is a more expensive bag. I think this was 400 something in Canada, whereas these ones run, I believe, around the 200, like the mid 200 range. So there is quite a significant difference between the two. However, I far more prefer the Energy line, but that is just, like I said, my own preference. There are also a couple other differences, like the leather tab on the Energy line here on the side is bigger. There's differences with like the logo here on the back, that's different. So, I mean, again, personal preference, but if you were to ask me, this would be my most used, my favorite Longchamp handbag from my whole collection. That is it. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Thank you again for all your support and for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!